I was having a conversation with my mom about my dad. I don't talk about my dad often. I don't have a strong relationship, or even really, I wouldn't call it a relationship at all. I don't keep in like regular contact with my dad. There's just an understanding that we have. I talked about this in a prior video. I just understand the boundary, and I know at what capacity I can allow him into my life. But I had a conversation with my mom, and we were basically just talking about a lot of the reasons why my mom and my dad would argue. And just to kind of give you guys just like a little backstory, my dad, by the time I was born, he was already in jail. I remember him getting out when I was about 13, but I vividly, I think, remember him going back to jail like the same day I had my birthday party, which I don't know how things like that work. I know sometimes like you can get out and then you just have to like go back, just depending on what the situation is like. I don't know. But I remember my dad officially getting out when I was about 15. And then at that point, my mom said, hey, she really gave us the ultimatum. She was like, do you want your dad to come live with us? And I feel like anybody, as the little girl I was, I always wanted to have a relationship with my dad. So I was like, yeah, like that sounds cool. Like, who wouldn't want that, right? Who wouldn't want their family? I should have said no. Anyways, we were having a conversation, and we were saying that a lot of the reasons why my mom and my dad would argue was because of the financials. It was because my mom would do while my dad just basically sat back and watched her do. Like, as a woman, me personally, I think that we get so wrapped up in doing for people that we never, it's a really hard realization when we realize that we aren't getting the same love or the same energy reciprocated back into us, because we are natural lovers, we're natural givers. But she said that they would argue a lot about financials, meaning that, if they took a trip, my mom would basically pay everything. She'd book the room, she'd find the room, she'd find a rental car, she'd pay for the rental car, she found the flights, she paid for the flights. And in the same sentence, like when they would get to where they were going, my dad would still look at my mom like, you gonna pay for that? And that's what they argued about. And granted, my mom did say, when my dad did things for her, we can't say, or she can't say that they were executed excellently, excellently. Who child, is that a word? We can't say that the execution, might have been to our standards, but, there was effort put in. And again, I think that as women, we tend to forget that, okay, yes, the effort was put in, but how much effort was put in? Like, okay, yeah, you bought me a pair of sunglasses, but did you just hand them to me? Or did you put them in a bag? And did you put some tissue paper? And maybe you added a little card that just said thank you. Or did you just say, here you go, I bought this for you? And, she was basically stating, like, when it came down to it, he would always be looking for her to do. And that is crazy to me. Because at what point as a man, like at what point do you step up and start to do for your woman? If you're saying like, oh, this is the person I want to marry and this is the person I have kids with and we live together, at what point do you stop looking at your woman for things, and as a man you step up and you start doing those things? Like I could not imagine being in a relationship and my man is, not doing anything, looking at me for every dollar. I'm buying everything, I'm paying for everything, and then you say, oh, I want to propose. Excuse me, what have you shown to me that you are at the capacity where you should be proposing? I'm, we're begging you to take me to dinner. I'm begging you to, step up as a man, but yet you think you're ready to propose? Like, no, it don't work that way. And yes, my mom and my dad are married. Her sister just decided she wanted to get married and dragged my mom along to some courthouse, and mom got married. Cool, that's their business, right? They're grown. I wasn't there to witness it. I found out later. But, hey, whatever, right? I mean, they've known each other their entire lives. Sometimes as humans we do things, and that's not to say that they're the best, and that we're doing it for our best interest, but stuff happens, right? But my mom also say that, my dad was so worried about always taking care of his mom that all of the money that he would make always went to his mother instead of his home, instead of putting back into what was holding him down. My grandfather on my dad's side, he's held his own. He's pretty wealthy. I don't say he's wealthy. I mean, my dad has never had to look out for him when it came to, giving him stuff and taking care of him. The thing is that, like, at what point, do you stop doing for your parents and say, you know what, my family needs to come first? Because if you can't show us that you can take care of your wife, and then show us first that your children will then come along and you can take care of them, whether at some point you have a child and your child comes first and then your wife comes second, at what point do you tell your mom, your dad, your sister, your brothers, your best friends, hey, I have a family that I need to look out for, I can't do this for you? At what point do you decide, or as a man, do you say, I can't do this because I have to make sure that I'm looking out for my family, instead of thinking, oh yeah, I got you, and I know my wife or my girlfriend or whoever will take care of me in the event that I've already given. And for me, like, when I'm in a relationship or if I'm a girlfriend, I'm looking at this as a potential marriage. I'm not in a relationship just to be in a relationship. If I'm in a relationship, I'm looking at you as if you're my future husband. You're going to potentially be the father of my children. But at what point do we again say, like, hey, you know, I feel like it's a hard conversation. You know, like, oh, you need to stop doing for them. Okay, damn, like, I'm not telling you to cut them off. What I'm telling you is that you have to start putting the family that you're trying to build first. You have to at some point be like, you know what? I can't do this because I have a family to take care of. Because at that point, if you're going to continue, like, you're not, by any means, it's like you're taking care of somebody who is not taking care of you. Yes, they took care of you for 18 years. Yes, you know, they put a roof over your head, but that was their responsibility because they had you. Now, as a man, it's your responsibility to do for your side. And, you know, that's not to say that, you know, that my dad wasn't doing anything for her, or that man that you're with is not doing anything for you. That's not to say that he's not trying. But sometimes the effort is not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. Like, as a woman, I should be taken on regular dates. Even if it's twice a month. I should be going on a date twice a month. As a man, and even just as a couple, we should be figuring out what each other's love languages are. Because at some point, you know, somebody will say, oh, well, at least he did it. You're being ungrateful. Well, am I being ungrateful, or have I conditioned myself to accept the bare minimum? Am I being ungrateful, or have I accepted to allow myself to accept the bare minimum? Because if you're not finding out what my love language is and you're not catering to that love language, am I being ungrateful? Am I? I'm not. I mean, really, a love language is really just finding out how that person likes to be loved, right? So it could be gift giving. That's not saying go out there and buy me a $1,400 Louis bag. What that is saying is you could go to Bed Bath & Beyond, buy me a candle, put a bow in it, put it in a bag, but you can't do that because you've already exhausted what you had and gave it to somebody else. So it's like, am I really, and that, I mean, that goes the same thing for, you know, giving compliments. Like, I understand, you know, sometimes as men don't understand what it means to give a compliment without a but to it, or without just doing it. Like, in the morning, I don't care if I got crust around my eyes. You're supposed to tell me I'm beautiful, versus you only telling me I'm beautiful when you see me going out with my girls, because you want that to be the last thing that I've heard from you, so I won't go out and do nothing crazy. So it's just like, it's really crazy to me. And I feel like I understood, like, I feel like as we get older, like, come on, kids, we're not dumb to the things that we see our parents go through, right? So I can understand, like, okay, my dad was in jail for 15 plus years, okay? And then on top of that, you know, you get out and my mom has not only held you down for 15 years, but you get out and she has built a home from the ground up. I watched my mom I watched her land go from trees to a floor plan to a house. I watched my mom do that for herself. And I watched my dad come into this home and do just that. Right? Do just that. So at what point do you think, oh my God, this woman has held me down? This woman has let me into her home. This woman has loved me in each way and to her fullest capacity when I couldn't get a job because of my history. I couldn't get a job because of my background. I couldn't get a job because I didn't have the experience because I missed 15 years of my life. And she's held me down. At what point do you step up and be a man and do for her? And that's not to say we don't count favors. You know, you can't say, oh, that person did so much for me, you, and you know, you should pay me back. It's not a repayment. It's why wouldn't you want to do for your woman? Why you always got your hand out for your woman? Because at the end of the day, I don't think men understand, right? Like some men go through that thing where they test you. They test us as women. So they might not take you out on a date, or they might take you out on, say you meet a guy and they take you out on 3 dates, right? Take you out on 3 dates. And say this one, and every man is different. There are some men that will just cater, right? But say this guy takes you out on 3 dates and he wants to see, you know, like if you really like him or if you're just using him. Because I feel like me personally, my opinion, I feel like there's a difference between actually liking somebody and just going out with someone because of what they have. Because you going out with someone because of what they have doesn't mean that you like them. You can tolerate them because they're giving you what you want, but that doesn't mean that you like them. And a lot of women get that mixed up. A lot of women will say or think that, oh yeah, I like for my men to take care of me, or, you know, I'm never going to date a man where I have to do for them. But if you're not doing for them, do you really like them? If you can't really think outside of your own head, like, I could imagine myself buying this man something, even if it's just flowers, something, even if just like an ice cream date. If you can't imagine yourself pulling out your card to do something for your man, do you really like him? And then at that point, if you don't, why are you even toying with this person? Like, you're never going to be in a stable relationship if your mindset is that way. But that's just my opinion. So, again, imagine this guy, he takes you on 3 dates. And after 3rd date, he, you know, you guys are still kind of talking, but he's basically waiting on you as the woman to initiate something, right? And that could mean, you know, he's waiting on you to be like, hey, I think we should go out and I will pay. Because as a woman, there's nothing wrong with paying. There's nothing wrong as a woman to come out of your pocket for your man. There's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of women will tell you, oh no, girl, you shouldn't do that. Oh no, girl, you shouldn't do that. I don't want to hear it. Have your opinion. Say what you want to say. There is nothing wrong with catering or taking your man out on a date. So again, some men will do that where they wait and see if you as a woman, if you're willing to do that. Because then at that point he knows, like, okay, she's not just using me for the date. She's not just using me for food. She's not just using me to get what she wants. Or so she, you know, if she asks me out on a date, dang, she really likes me. So a man will do that to see, okay, yeah, she feeling me. She feeling me. Oh yeah. I know in the long run that in the event that I end up down bad, because women for some reason think that men just can't be down bad. And I feel like that's a really big problem with our society, is that women can't step out of their big old bubble brains to think that a man can't be down bad. But 9 times out of 10, he's testing you to say like, okay, yeah, in the event that for some reason I end up down bad, what if he gets into a car accident, he becomes crippled? I want to know my woman can take care of me. I want to know that my woman can take care of me. I want to know that my woman is willing to take care of me. I know that in the event, you know what I'm saying, that, we get into this relationship and we talk about marriage, I'm not just paying for every trip and she actually likes me, because there's no wrongdoing. Like, I feel like if my man is doing everything he's supposed to do, why shouldn't I come out of my pocket and pay for things? Like, why shouldn't I? Because at the end of the day, like, okay, yes, you're paying, and all that money, I'm just keeping, going on shopping sprees, doing all of this and doing all of that. But it's really vice versa when it comes to it, because you don't think that if you're at some point feeling depressed because you have, you've had to do X, Y, and Z all by yourself, plus you're taking, that's just like, if I feel like, if you're a single mom, if you're doing X, Y, and Z for yourself and you're having to pay for everything for your child because your baby father is not, and now you down bad, now you depressed, now you feeling like you living paycheck to paycheck, how do you think this man feels? You don't think men aren't allowed to do things for themselves? You don't think men are allowed to shop for themselves? You don't think that men are allowed to go out with their boys? And people think that just because they're men, that they are supposed to just do it and suck it up and not supposed to feel no way. And that's not right. The problem is that, at what point do you step up and even show me that you're willing to take care of me? Because at that point that you can show me that you're willing to take care of me, and you've done everything and you've catered to my love language, I've seen that you can take me on a trip without me having to dip into my pocket, then yes, I will reciprocate that same energy. But until then, no, I'm not. So I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it. I mean, I feel like, some people are different. I feel like a man really shouldn't ask a woman for anything. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. But at the moment you're just automatically looking and assuming that this woman is gonna do something for you, and you've gotten so comfortable with just not even asking her for money but telling her to give you money. That's a problem. That's a problem. But, and I feel like, sometimes men do this thing where, like, again, they don't cater to your love language. Like, and I feel like some people think that the love languages are just what's written out. Like, honestly, my love language, yes, is my love language comes to me. I love receiving gifts. But I like receiving gifts in the element of surprise. So what that looks like for me is that, again, you don't just walk in with a pair of sunglasses and say, here, babe, this is for you. No. Or you don't tell me, hey, babe, I got you something and it's on the way. Like, why would you? I don't need you to tell me that. If you bought me tickets for something, I want you to hold it in to the last minute and be like, babe, get dressed on the day of. Tell me how I should dress. Should I wear comfortable shoes? Should I wear shorts? Should I bring a jacket? And then I want to pull up and be blown away. Don't tell me, oh yeah, babe, I bought us tickets for this Sierra concert in about a week. Cause now I might not even want to go. Cause you didn't ruin this like a week. I gotta wait a week. Like, and if you're gonna like buy me something and if it's a gift, don't just hand it to me. Or don't just say, oh yeah, babe, I got you something. It should be on the way. It should be here in about a week. Why you can't wait till it get here and make it look real nice? Me personally, I might buy you just a bottle of cologne, but guess what? I'm gonna find a way to put that bottle of cologne in a balloon, and you're gonna have to pop that balloon to get your gift. That's just me. I love receiving my gifts and the element of surprise. And some people will say, oh, well, at least he did that. Okay, well, he ain't put no effort. Like, where's the effort? It's like men don't give effort anymore, and then women are subjected to just taking it, and literally it's giving bare minimum. It's giving bare minimum. I'm gonna say it again. It's giving bare minimum. It's giving bare minimum. I think that, I don't know. I feel, I can't even say all men are the same. But I think there is a realization that needs to come to when it comes to the standards of what a man should be doing. Because, I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, like, if you are in a relationship or if you're married or, you know, if you're living with somebody and you guys both work, so you work, she works, you clean, she cleans, you do laundry, she does laundry, he cooks, she cooks. Now, the capacity at which she might cook might not be the same, but she cooks. This is equal right here. This is equal. This is for, and this is for. At what point as a man are you doing something extra for your woman? Buying her flowers, taking her out to dinner, taking her out on a, it don't even have to be a full 5-day trip. It could just be a staycation. Spa dates. You know? Like, at what point, again, do you step up? At what point do you say, as a man, oh, let me not buy this $80 ball of weed and let me go spend $40 to go give my lady some flowers and then another $40 for me to take her out to dinner? At what point do you say, let me not buy this $80 bottle of weed and let me go spend $40 on a sundress and let me go take my woman out to dinner? Or at what point do you say, let me not buy this $80 bottle of weed and you go buy a $10 bundle of flowers, a $20 sundress, and say, hey babe, put this on, and you go spend the rest on groceries to make her a beautiful home-cooked meal with a candlelit table? Like, but again, they said a lot of the problems they had were because anytime that something was being done, my mom was always the one giving, 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 and he was always looking at her to do for him instead of him stepping up as a man to do for her. Because it was very clear. It's very clear, like, as a woman, if we're buying you things and we're, listening in on conversations and saying, hey, babe, I bought this for you because I heard you over the phone and said you wanted this. At that point, it's very clear I'm for you. It's very clear that I love you. It's very clear that I'm willing to, make this relationship work. It's very clear I'm willing to make it last. It's very clear that you're not in this by yourself. It's very clear this relationship is not one-sided. But again, if you're working, he's working, she's cleaning, he's cleaning, she's doing laundry, she's doing laundry, she's paying rent, he's paying rent, she's cooking, he's cooking, she paying the bills, you paying the bills. It's equal. At what point as a man are you doing anything more to make your woman feel like a woman? What are you taking off of her load to make her feel like the queen that she is? What are you doing more other than trying to just slide it in from the side at night? Because at that point, it's just like, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand, or men don't understand, that when it comes to financials, women are so conditioned, and we like to know where our money is going. We like to save. We like to have a plan in the event that things could go wrong. We like to, you know what I'm saying? Women will hop on Zillow and go look at a $1 million house. And then think to ourselves, you know what? I can save this money and I can go buy me this house. Yes, it might not be the most realistic thing, but that's how we think. We think bigger picture. And men, they just stay here. It's like they're okay with just walking the surface, while women's brains are way out of space, and we are like, we are like jumping from cloud to cloud on the expectations, on the potential that we have for ourselves. Wow. Men just sit right here. They just sit right here. And then, there's that time where, somebody asks them for something and they'll give it. But again, at what point, just like, I don't really think they understand that the biggest problem a lot of relationships have is financial. Because if we're in a relationship and you're giving what you have, right? Say my man has $500. And say his cousin texts him. It's like, hey bro, you got $350 I can borrow? But we finna go take a cruise, and let's just say the payment is exactly $350. Now you got $500. Your cousin asked for $350. The cruise left payment is $350. Now you say, "Oh yeah, cuz I got you. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer that little $350 to you." And then you come to your girl talking about, "Babe, you think you could pay the rest of that cruise, cause I ain't got it." Excuse me? Well, yeah, man, my cousin, he asked for $350 and I only had $500, so I gave him $350. Okay, well now I'm mad because one, why would you go and do that knowing we had a trip? And two, why would you do that? Knowing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't think to put what we got going on first? And now I'm mad. And now our household got friction. And now our household got friction. But guess what? Your cousin got his. He gone by his little merry way. Meanwhile, your cousin already had 350. He just really wanted 350 so he could buy him a new TV and still have 350 in his pocket. But now your household got friction. Because you just giving out. You giving out your last. And now you looking at me, coming to me, taking out what I had and what I had saved or what I had planned and looking for me to pay it. It don't make sense. It does not make sense. It does not make sense. And then at what point in the relationship do we say, like, hey, bruh, nah, I don't got it. I don't got it. You need to stop doing what you're doing because now you upset at me because it's looking like I don't want to do it. No, I'm tired of doing it. Like, bruh, you got to step up. You got to step up. You got to step up. But my mom told me that was a lot of reasons why they would argue. And I could see it. There was plenty of times where we would go out to eat and I would watch my mom just pull out her wallet. And it was so conditioned for her to just assume that she was going to pay for it. We went on cruises and I would watch my mom pay for everything. And that was her normality. That was normal for her. She was conditioned to be that way. And of course, I'm pretty sure there's always the, oh yeah, it's going to change or it's going to get better. And men have this really funny way of saying things and manipulating you into the situation to make it seem like you're the one doing something wrong. But they'll hit you with the, oh yeah, I'm going to change. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. And then it never gets better. Because at the end of the day, a person will treat you how you allow for them to treat you. So if you allow someone to always ask, and you give, guess what? They'll wait about 20 days until the argument's over. And they'll go right back to what they're doing. And guess what? They don't mind it. They don't care because they know what you're capable of and you're just going to do it. That's just like being in a relationship with somebody who cheats. They'll be like, oh babe, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it ever again. I promise. I love you. It won't ever happen again. But the minute you catch them doing it again, guess what? Oh baby, I'm sorry. I love you. I ain't going to do it no more. It ain't going to happen again. I'm sorry, I love you. And guess what? You back at square one. And this person will continue to be this way because you have allowed for them to treat you the way that they treat you. The only way to stop a repeating habit is to put your foot down. Just to put your foot down. But I think it's very normal for men now to just think like, oh yeah, my woman got it, my woman to do it for me, and it's like, no. Not happening. Like, it should really be where, as a man, you should assume that it's your responsibility to do for your woman. It's your responsibility to make sure she feels loved and make sure you cater to her and make sure that you are doing things for her and to make sure that you are making her feel safe, and to make sure that, again, you are taking care of your household. Because the thing is that once you do that as a man, women will do it we're gonna do it regardless. We're gonna do it regardless. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, I'm not gonna do for my man when he's doing everything for me. No, women, we're natural lovers. We're natural lovers, bro. We are natural lovers. The more you do for us, the more we do for you. That's the thing about it. Like, the more you do for us, the more you love us, the more you cater to us, the easier you guys' life gets. It's just like, how did you guys not know that? I don't see. Maybe men just don't know it. The happier we are, the happier you guys are. The more we're able to shower you with the love that we're capable of giving. But if I'm not seeing that, I'm not getting that same energy, like, no, I'm not giving to you at all. I'm not. And I don't want to. I don't want to. You gotta put forth some effort. It's almost like y'all seen that video and the guy was like this. And he was looking like he was helping, but he really wasn't doing nothing. And yet he's still gonna get paid the same amount as everybody else. He probably get paid more. You know, it's like a supervisor. It's like a manager. They don't do anything right, but they make it seem like they do the most, and then they get the most credit for it. That's how men maneuver. They literally do the bare minimum, right? They'll like get your friends to do everything, or they'll get, you know what I'm saying? And then they'll be like, oh yeah, that was all me. Oh yeah, I put in some effort. But it was like, what effort did you really put in? Tell me, please, tell me. What ideas did you have? Even if they were dumb ideas. Even if somebody was like, nah, I don't think that would look good. Or I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Like, what effort did you actually put in? Because you're just doing this. You ain't touched a thing. But you're going to claim that credit, though. Child. I don't know. I feel like a lot of women go through this. It's not just, like, again, I speak on conversations or speak on topics that I've seen firsthand that have, you know, there have been times where I've been in relationships and I've witnessed these things firsthand. I was with a guy and I paid for everything. Trips, birthdays, and all I was getting was hard meat and cheated on. Like, crazy, right? Crazy. And then again, when you require for a man to do something after you've done so much for them, they really look at you like, are you for real? Like, I've done this. But it's like, okay, I get it. I get that this is what you did. But you don't do it in the same capacity as you require for me to do it. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's that, you know, yes, you did it. Yes, you know, you bought me the flowers, you bought me the card, you know, you did it. Right? You did it. But you did it once a year. You did it after, I was like, dang, I see how much, you know what I'm saying, you going with your boys, barbecuing and drinking, and now we got an argument because I didn't seen how much energy you put into them. I see that, you giving your mama money, and I'm over here, we still sitting at the house for months on end. So, yeah, you did it, or yeah, you did it, but you half did it. Like, why would you know what I'm saying? Why would you do something but not fully execute it? And there's so many ways, like, there's so many ways that you can do something. Like, even if that was, oh man, like, I wanted to set this up real nice, but my girl's at home. Okay, hit my homegirl up and tell her, hey, girl, can you tell Drea, I need you to come over, you need her to come over to the house right quick so I could do this. It could have been as easy as that, right? It could have been as easy as that. Hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Hey, tell her it's an emergency or something. Or tell her, you need to run to the store and get something, or something. Like, there's so many ways and effort in which effort can be put in, and it was like you were okay with just saying, here you go, just like this. No, again, no catering to the element of surprise, love language. You just did it. And then not only did you do it, you had the same audacity to be like, oh yeah, well, now I gotta go and hustle for my money back. Well, first off, if it was a gesture, if it was a gift, that shouldn't even be something that should come out of your mouth. Because it's like, why? Men do that a lot too. They will buy you something or give you a gift and then be like, yeah, man, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go work and get my money back. But I don't even want this. I don't even want no more. Take it back, please, cause I don't want to hear you complaining about how you broke and how you did whatever. I don't want it no more, cause now you're making me feel bad for something that you apparently wanted to do. Like, if you wanted to do it, don't complain about it. And I'm the type of person, like, don't buy me something and then complain about it. Because at the end of the day, I appreciate anything. So you didn't have to go and buy me a $1,400 bag and then come in my face talk about, oh yeah, I gotta go work double time to get my money back, when you could have bought me a $200 bag and I would have appreciated it just as much. Cause now you just gonna piss me off. Cause now you just gonna piss me off. Cause now but that's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Men have to do better. And I think that once they understand that doing better really makes the world go around, because at the end of the day, women are natural lovers. So if you're giving and you're catering to what your woman likes and what she loves, and you're just in your masculine energy, like, we will give you the sun, the moon, the stars. We will give you that back times 10. But a lot of women, we as women, men complain about, oh, my woman don't do nothing for me. Okay, well, what are you doing for her? What are you truly doing for your woman? And think about that. Like, as a man, what are you doing for your woman in which you can complain that she doesn't ever do anything for you? Let me know. What as a man are you doing for your woman that you can complain about how she doesn't do anything for you? Are you cooking every single night? You don't require for her to cook at all? And when you don't cook, are you buying that food? Are you taking her to dinner? Are you buying her flowers? Do you say, hey babe, get dressed, and you just so happens to bought tickets to the zoo? Do you find out that your woman likes to go on picnics and you plan a whole picnic date without her having to lift a finger? Did you randomly buy tickets to go see a movie that you know your girl possibly wanted to go see, and you bought her popcorn, her favorite candy, and a drink? Did you see that your woman had a hard day at work and you just randomly ran her a bath? Like, come on. Did you see that? Oh my gosh, my lady she's tired. Like, she been working hard. Let me go ahead and wash these dishes. Let me go ahead and clean up the house without making her feel bad for not getting up to help. Like, what are you doing as your part as a man for you to complain about what your woman is not doing? Because let's be honest, if we went back to the standard that men hate from way back in time, it was, right, the woman does not work. She stays at home and she cooks, she cleans, and takes care of the kids. That's a job in its own. But the man works. He provides food. He takes his woman. He was still taking his woman out on dates. He was buying her clothes. Like, he was providing everything. But again, how can your woman work? You require for your woman to work, to clean, to cook on occasion, to take care of your kids or the kids, and you weren't doing anything extra for her. First off, I don't understand how as a man could allow a woman to carry his kids for 9 months because of what we endure. Because of what we endure, our bodies, mentally, physically, emotionally, all the health complications that we can have. And yet, you still giving the bare minimum that you was giving way before she got pregnant. Excuse me? And you think that we're supposed to say yes when you propose? No, sir. I need for y'all to do better. I need for y'all to do better. Because things happen. I get it. We get pregnant because we having fun. We ain't being safe. Blase, blase. But to have a planned pregnancy and you haven't required for your man to do more than what he was doing, and you still complaining about the same things after pregnancy than you were before, and you didn't make him change, or you didn't see that change beforehand? Come on. Because what they say, a baby does not change a man, and getting married sure doesn't change a man. It doesn't. It doesn't. When you get married, they say it is a business. He not good with financials now. You think he gonna be good with financials after? No. Has he even, first off, before you even think about proposing to me, I need to know that whoever is paying for this wedding, because what they say, the husband's father is supposed to pay for the wedding. I need to know that person has money saved up, because I ain't getting no bare minimum wedding, no bare minimum dress. So I need to know that you have saved up and you have done your part prior to this obligation. I need to know that in the event that I get pregnant and I have a child, that, you know, you have a certain amount saved up in the event that something happens. Because what just so happens, what if I were to have a child, right? And something happens to me during childbirth where you have to save your child and I'm not able to be saved. And you was always looking at me to pay. And now you don't got no money to save up. And you don't even know how to save money to take care of your child. And I allowed that to come into this world? No. It's got to be more responsibility than that. It's literally holding yourself accountable and being more responsible. And again, things happen. You know, we end up with people, and sometimes we don't know the person that we are with, and sometimes, you know, again, like my dad, I, how can you expect someone who just was in prison for 15 years to come out and just have a good job and just be able to take care of his family? But at the end of the day, don't be talking all this shit about how it's going to change, it's going to change, and then, you know, you writing all these letters about how we're going to do this as a family and how this is going to get better and this and that, and then you come out and you still doing the same thing and you haven't changed. But again, at what point, as women, how long are we supposed to wait for change? How long are we supposed to wait for change? Is it a month? Is it 3? Is it 6? Is it 9? 12? 12 months is a year. How long are we supposed to wait for change? Who knows? Who knows? Whew. We gotta do better. We have to do better. That really goes back into the conversation I had before about setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is not just about setting boundaries with your family or setting boundaries with family or in your relationship, your coworkers. Setting boundaries can mean setting boundaries in your relationship if you feel like you aren't getting what is needed. Setting boundaries in your relationship means, you know, saying enough is enough. I need you to step up. It's, you know, it's me or them. It's your family or them. It's you understanding what your duty should be as a man, or I'm gonna have to walk away. No woman wants to feel like, you know, as women, we're the backbone of the family regardless. So we support you mentally, we support you physically, we support you emotionally. When you need advice, you come to us. When you need help, you come to us. When you can't figure something out, you come to us. So again, yes, financially, as a man, we expect for you to do the most. Because you literally are getting the most out of us. So again, you know, like I said, boundaries are more than just the surface. Once you know what you're worth, then you have to tell yourself, I'm not putting up with this any longer. I'm going to have to walk away if you can't get it together. But that's okay, because what one won't do, another one will. what one won't do, another one will. And that's not a bad thing. That's just to say, if you love me and you want to be with me and you want to be a family, you have to start putting me first. And you have to start doing more. You have to start putting in more effort. You have to start being the man in the relationship. You have to step up and show me that in the event that I can't, you can. In the event that I can't, you will. Period. I hope that you guys have had a great time lounging with Drea. I hope that you guys have had a big takeaway from, however you look at it, a lesson, a realization, or just a topic that you're like, my friend needs to hear this. Somebody else needs to hear this, because we all go through it. We all go through it. As much as women, we try to be strong and we try to, my man. And in reality, your same friend is going through it, and it's hard. It's hard to step away, especially when you love somebody and you know the potential and you see the potential, but maybe, they have somebody else holding them back. Maybe they have somebody else dipping in their pockets, and it's not allowing them to be the best man that they can be for you, and they're not allowed to be the best man that they can be for the family that you're trying to build with them. And that's okay. That's not to say that you're supposed to step away. That just means that there's a conversation that needs to be had. And unfortunately, sometimes we have to give people the ultimatum. And again, that is okay. So, thank you for lounging with Drea. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. And I will talk to you guys soon.